and welcome to the Redmen TV. Happy deadline day to everyone who's not a Liverpool fan. Enjoy yourselves. It's going to be fun, but not for us, is it? Not expecting to speak to you a lot today, if I'm perfectly honest. Got a few little news stories, no incomings. Well, actually, there is one, but it's a complete troll, so there's not at all. I'm going to start with the title of the video. Jurgen Klopp hails brilliant Jordan Henderson, but he's not surprised. This is the Liverpool Echo. Obviously, Liverpool beat Huddersfield last night 3-0. Lovely, wasn't it? Makes me feel a hell of a lot better about Liverpool Football Club right now, more so than it did feel yesterday morning, certainly when I recorded my last video. So, Jurgen Klopp hailed Jordan Henderson after Liverpool's win at Huddersfield. Come on, the Redmen. Insist as much criticised captain is a brilliant player. Henderson was brought in for his first Premier League start of the year at the John Smith Stadium, which is a belter of a little stadium, you know. Concourse is outside as well. Love a concourse that's outside. Get yourself a little beer in. It's good when it's a nice sky. I don't know why I looked up. I know there's a ceiling there. There's always been a ceiling there. It's always been a ceiling, basically. So yeah, concourse is outside. Definitely a good thing. They got a little bit of that at West Brom. Or they've got a little outside section. Obviously, got a little bit of that at Crystal Palace as well. Don't know why I'm talking about that. For me, it's difficult to talk about obvious things. Klopp said, I prefer that you, the journalists, write it. A story's only interesting when my name is in it. Please say the message. Jordan Henderson is a very good footballer. He's an England international team player and our skipper, and maybe he'll be the skipper of England. I have no clue. Who was it who wrote this? Let's have a look.
Neil Jones.
Who? Neil Jones. Yeah. Neil Jones listened to Jurgen Klopp, wrote the words, attributed to Jurgen Klopp. It's half a job. But I like it nonetheless, Neil. It's got me talking about it. And I thought he had a really good game last night. I thought you could see with the speed of his passing that we played so much better in that midfield. And it wasn't just because of Jordan Henderson. For me, the better midfielder again on the day was Emre Can. I thought he was outstanding last night. Truly brilliant. And, you know, we saw last season that he did a lot of training, and we heard from Emre saying that Jurgen spent a lot of time training him into that number 8 role. And there was a time during the course of the season where he scored 3 and 3 from that position. And we saw him score again. But it wasn't just the goal that was brilliant. Obviously, he gets the assist for the penalty as well, because he's the one who's fouled, but just the smartness of the interplay with Mo Salah, because he's not played that role while Mo Salah's been playing on the right hand side for us, and the way that he was able to find space on the right and use Mo Salah's cutting inside to his advantage to get him to gain space, the way that Joe Gomez tucked in slightly behind him to cover that space off as well when he made those runs, it all had a real nice balance to it yesterday against Huddersfield. And listen, 911 passes in the game, second most in Premier League history by a team, behind I think 923 by Manchester City, which was interestingly set against West Brom recently. We dominated that game, absolutely dominated, and we did it the way that we should do. You know, we didn't concede many chances. Luis Karius makes a save at 0-0, which was absolutely brilliant, but it was just an all-round good performance from Liverpool. Spot on. And Firmino's goal, my word, I've seen it back, my word. Like, we were the other end of the pitch, so I didn't know the Chan's goal had a deflection. I didn't know just how good Bobby Firmino's goal was. Saw him pick the ball up, saw him run inside, didn't realise he'd basically looked the keeper off, making everyone think that he's gonna play the ball across the box and then play it in off the near post. He didn't look at the goal for like 5 steps. It's unbelievable. It's essentially a no-look finish again from Bobby, and that's great, isn't it? So a couple of outs. Wolfsburg got into a threesome with Swansea for Markovic. Although I'm not sure it's a threesome really, unless you count Liverpool as a club in that said threesome. Sounds German, Welsh, Scouse. Sounds good to me. Wolfsburg enter the race with Swansea to land Liverpool outcast Lazar Markovic before the transfer deadline. Wolfsburg apparently trying to persuade Markovic as well. That is the story. Let's move on. Lazar, listen, I like you. Don't get me wrong. You were really nice when I met you. It's deadline day. It's your day, mate. But you know what? If you stay, I will support you. I don't know if I'll get the chance to support you because you've not made any matchday squads, but other than that, time. Sunderland complete loan move for Liverpool starlet Ovie Ejaria, according to Laurie Whitwell for the Mail Online. So yeah, completed a loan for Liverpool midfielder Ovie Ejaria. Bit of a nuts one again. You know, we spoke about this a little bit yesterday. There's nothing more to add to the story, and it looks like it's a done deal now. This was last updated at 9:15 this morning. I hope he, excuse me, I hope he, excuse me, I hope he goes and has a good end of the season, you know, and he's really tested in that league and comes back a stronger player, because he's got a future at Liverpool. He's a really young player at the moment. I don't think he's got a place in our first team squad just yet, but he certainly could have one day, so I hope this loan move goes really well for him. And I did tell you there was a little bit of trolling. Look at this for a headline. Sky Sports reporter claims Liverpool could make signing today. Does he claim who? No. Does he say Liverpool are going to make a signing today? No. What he says was, and let's see if I can highlight this for you. This is ridiculous, by the way, and it might even be miles down. Where is it? It's transfer deadline day, as you know. Anything can happen. I mean, really, you've got a headline from that says Sky Sports reporter. Really, and apparently, I'm getting word right now, he's a blue nose. Mate has just texted me. If you've not checked out Mate's TV, he's the other lad who does Redmen TV. He's got a YouTube channel. It's scintillating. And he's just reported that Alan Myers is a blue. So there you go. I mean, what a load of tosh, quite frankly. Sky Sports reporter claims Liverpool could make signing today. Blue nose wants to piss off Liverpool fans. Should have been the title of that, and it would have been much closer to the bone. So there you go. I'm going to get into comments. Tom, go.
So Adam Richardson, talking about Henderson, says, like him or not, he massively affects the game, and that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, we were good in the midfield yesterday. The three of them, I thought James Milner was outstanding as well, and didn't really talk about him. And Jordan Henderson's not a bad footballer. People, I think, tend to view him badly because they don't understand his role, and I'm not saying that I do fully understand his role. I think the intricacies of a six for Liverpool aren't yet fully known to Liverpool players. You know, we did speak to Liverpool fans. We did speak to Lucas Leiva about this, and you know, in an interview on the redmentv.com. And we spoke to him at length about the role and how Lucas even thought that the role had changed so much that Henderson was a perfect fit for that role, because he has a certain skill set that Lucas didn't possess. And, you know, it's about finding a player that can do everything you want from that six. And I'm not sure we've 100% found that yet, because I don't think Henderson is quite the combative midfielder that we need in some of those games. Paul talks quite a lot about how, you know, it feels like some games are a game for Emre Can and other games are a game for Jordan Henderson. Can might be more your big teams where you need to have that little bit of a blood and thunder or whatever. And I think Henderson's those games where you're going to dominate possession. He's always calm under pressure. He's always asking for the ball. He's always moving the ball on quickly, be that sideways, forwards or backwards. Doesn't matter as long as you keep the ball, does it, and you start scoring goals. Okay, another one, please, Tom.
Callum Gilbert saying, let's just hope Wolfsburg don't do to Markovic what they did with De Bruyne.
Okay.
Which is make him turn him somehow into one of the best players, and then City buys him, and then we all go, oof, we missed that one. I don't think he will, though.
Let's hope. You know what? I wouldn't be too bothered if he did turn out to be a world beater, as long as we had a boss sell-on clause in his contract. But if we're getting 15 million, I can't see that happening. 15 million. Go ahead. Mental, if that's the case. Liverpool win 3-0 at Huddersfield, and we're going to win the World Cup now, says Ozzy. I'm not sure that's how it works. That's how it works.
He's been trolling a bit.
Yeah, I just don't think he understands the football.
No.
It's a different competition. It was the Premier League we were playing in last night, Ozzy. Thanks for joining in with the conversation, though. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Really appreciate it. Nice one.
There's been a lot of people talking about transfers and that, and I think if you want to plug that video again, because I think you did a good job rounding up your views.
Yeah, so thanks, Tom. I did a video yesterday on why I think Liverpool needed signings. If you've not watched that, do go and watch it. Let me know your thoughts. Obviously, they are my opinions. They're nobody else's. I strongly believe in those opinions, but I'm obviously open to debate. And if you want to get into the comment section and disagree with me for anything or pull the points apart, absolutely do that. I'll go and check back later on today. I've had some interesting discussion on there as well. Sorry, I've just seen a comment from Persia Fedron, which is Which is absolutely hilarious, mate. And I'm not reading it out. If you want to know what that is, check the comment section on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook and you're watching on Twitter and you wonder where we pull the comments from, it is exclusively from the YouTube. So if you fancy, if you are, you're basically pissing in the wind type of commenting on the Facebook and the Twitter. So just come over here, watch it here. It's just as live, honestly, and you can have your comment read out. Essentially, you're not pissing into the wind, so do a little bit of that. Like, Chris, your opinion is not wrong, but ill-timed. We have no chance to win silverware this season, says Bramok. It depends on, listen, you know, it depends what you think ill-timed is. If you really believe that, you know, me making a video on a YouTube channel is going to affect FSG and Jurgen Klopp's decision making at Liverpool Football Club, then I don't think you have an understanding of what it is to run a business of that size and magnitude and run a football team, because they're not gonna bow to what I think. So I don't think the timing really matters at all, if I'm perfectly honest.
I've got one for you. George's Motion says, would you bring Origi back?
No.
Why?
I don't think he ever fit the one up top, to be perfectly honest with you. I think, you know, we saw him look really good when he had a partner. You know, the game that sticks out was probably the West Ham game at the end of this. Was it the end of last season? 4-1? Yeah, I think it was, wasn't it? I think it was 4-1. I was there. I think that was one of those games where he played up top with Sturridge and he looked really good. And, you know, he never really suited the wing position, and I don't think he's in the same league as like a Mane or a Salah, and he never really had the output of a Roberto Firmino, who scored 11 and 12 recently, and he, you know, he's the glue that holds that those attacking players together, and Origi never really had that for me. He had that sort of little bit of a battering ram type of a centre forward, and listen, he's going to be a good player. I think Daniel Sturridge is a good player. I think loads of players who've played for Liverpool have been good and they go on to have good careers, but sometimes they don't suit the manager and they don't suit the system, they don't suit the teammates. And I think that's one of those cases where Origi is just a bit of a square peg in a round hole, to be honest. I think he will be a great striker. He's done well so far this season from what I've heard. Chris, do you really think Ings has a future with Liverpool, says Cully? Yeah, I do, because he works damn hard and I think the fans like him, and that's not why he'll succeed at Liverpool. The reason he'll succeed at Liverpool, I believe, is because he does work hard. He's willing to graft. You can see that every time he takes to the field. Now, he's been horrifically unlucky with a couple of injuries that's taken him out for nearly 2 years. He scored 11 goals for Burnley, I think it was, in the Premier League, their first season up or something. That's an outstanding feat in a team that didn't score many goals and was nowhere near as good as they are now. He can get back to scoring goals and being a good member of this squad. Whether he'll ever be the centre forward, I doubt that. We don't need 3 of those centre forwards, do you? You can't keep them happy. You see that around the league right now. It's difficult, isn't it? Payjack Nudes, if we sign someone today, Chris, says Callum Gilbert. Probably in the locker room after footy later. We're so confident that Liverpool aren't going to sign anyone. We're all playing footy at 8 o'clock. So, we'll be back though afterwards. Just be a little bit sweatier than we were before.
Well, Callum Gilbert says, secretly hoping that Klopp's just a massive troll and that today we announce Keita, Lamar and Oblak.
If that happens,
just get him
getting flipped.
Yeah.
Just everywhere, mate. Absolutely everywhere. Okay, well, there you go. That's the first of the Daily News Show. If any of them breaks, we'll be back, of course. We're off to film the final word show for Liverpool 3, or Huddersfield 0, Liverpool 3. We've got Emma Sanders, BBC journalist, coming in, Adam Rowe, the comedian, coming in. We've got Paul, obviously, hosting that show, and Ross Chandler on the couch for today's 45-minute, a 1-hour extravaganza, diving deep into that victory, looking at all the talking points. Can't wait to watch that one back later on today. And then we've obviously got the Man of the Match podcast, Tom's Man of the Match podcast. If you're interested in Tom's opinions, he's got some great opinions on the footy, really positive outlook as well. Do go and check that out. And you can now get all your podcasts from the redmentv.com into your iTunes or into your podcast player on Android if you pay your £5 subscription. Every show we do will be put into there for your ease and for your consumption. So do go and check out the redmentv.com. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Redmen TV, because if anything does break, you'll hear it here first. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.